Right, we're gonna get started. I don't know about y'all, but it is just beautiful outside today, and it is summer, but it's like getting into late summer. So some of my things in my garden have started blooming, and so I thought we would do a little garden-themed yoga today. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and stand in your mountain pose. So I want to make sure you can see my mat. So give me just a second. I'm gonna adjust to myself. Actually, I think I know what I'm gonna do. Just so you can see what I'm doing. First, we're gonna start with our mountain pose. Always begin here. You don't see my face, but that's okay. It's more important that you see my body and how I'm holding my body. So feet are below your hips. Your weight is evenly distributed across all four corners of your feet. Imagine that your feet are like rectangles, and you've got your weight across all four of those corners. So you can lift your toes up if you want, and then shift your weight onto them. You can lift your heels up if you want, and bring them back down. You can do the little circle around roots maneuver that we do from time to time, but find that center and stand there. Okay, so we're gonna go bottom up. So you've got your feet situated. Notice now your knees, put a little micro bend there. Bringing up to your back, shoulders back and down, hands to your side. Perfect. Go ahead and stand in that for just a second. And let's take 3 of the deepest breaths you've taken so far today all together. So go ahead and breathe in through your nose. And out. Breathing in and out. Making your exhale longer than your inhale. Breathing in. Send air all the way down to the bottom of your lungs. And now breathing out like you're breathing out through a straw. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Perfect. So the first thing we're going to do with our garden yoga is we're going to get into our tree pose. I am going to fix this. I kind of feel weird that you can't see my face all the way. Okay, so tree pose. You're going to shift your weight onto one leg. I'm on my left leg. And you've got 3 levels. You can put your foot down on the ground, toes facing here, with your heel up against. I'm going to let somebody in. Awesome. Hello. Welcome. Change this. Awesome. So moving into tree pose, you're going to either have level here where your heel is against your ankle, or this is level 2, foot is against your calf muscle, never against your knee, or you can put your foot here against your inner thigh. Pick the level that works for you. Watch your hip, make sure it's not jutting out. You want a nice, strong, straight leg for your tree pose. So go ahead and pick the level that works for you. Hands at heart center. This is our tree. So we're starting off in our garden with a lovely tree. Imagine what kind of tree are you today? Let's picture that. I'm going to picture that I'm a strong oak tree, maybe 100 years old, with roots that go really, really far. So think about what kind of tree you are if we hold this pose just for another moment. Excellent, coming out of the pose. And remember, if you feel like you're going to lose your balance, you can pop out and then pop in again. And maybe consider going down a level if you need to. Let's shake out that leg that we were just on, because that's a lot. All right, back into our mountain pose. Check your breath here. And now let's do the other side. I almost did the same side again. So you've got level 1 here, level 2 here. Whoop, this side is not as strong as the other side for me. And then you've got level 3. Again, you're never pressing your foot against your knee. Awesome. Make sure that your hips not jutting out that way, that we're nice and straight. Hands at heart center, palms pressed together. And again, we're picturing that beautiful tree that we are today, standing strong in our garden. Shoulders should be broad. And let's just take one deep breath here. Look at a spot across the room from you that will help with balancing. Perfect. Go ahead and shake that out. Now, In our garden, we've got a frog. So this is a new pose we've never done. You're gonna squat down, put your elbows on the inside of your knees, and your hands are together. This, we're gonna pretend like we're a little frog. I wanna make sure you can see me all right. I think you can. Feet are on the ground, elbows are on the inside of your knees. This one's kind of hard. So if you can't do it, it's okay. Just do the best you can. You could just hold a squat if you want, but we're sitting down, hands are together. We're a little frog in our garden. So frogs are a sign of a healthy ecosystem because frogs are very sensitive to toxins in the water and chemicals in the water and the balance of the water being right. So we have a very healthy garden when we have frogs. So breathing in and out, feeling our muscles as they're stretching. Excellent. Now let's come out of that slowly, arms first. You can sit on your bottom. We're gonna move into child's pose, which for our garden meditation, we're gonna pretend that we're a seed. So there's a lot of potential in a seed. It's very inconsequential looking, but with the right elements, it can grow into something huge and massive and bountiful. So there's a lot of that potential energy inside of us too. We just have to place ourselves in environments that nurture that and cultivate that within ourselves. So think about all that potential goodness, all those potential strengths that are inside of you and how you're like a seed. We're going to cultivate that seed. So child's pose, if you don't remember, I'm going to start off in a tabletop position, shifting our hips back onto our heels. And then you're going to come down with your forehead on the ground. Now, the way we're gonna do is we're gonna do a variation on it. You're gonna have your forehead on the ground. It looks like you're almost bowing. You're gonna bring your hands and place them to where they're grabbing either your ankles or the bottom of your feet. So this is our seed position. Go ahead and do that with me. If you need to, you can spread your knees apart and keep your toes touching. That way you're making like a V position. That might be helpful, or that might just feel better to you. It's okay. And then again, just kind of settle into that pose. I'm gonna get back into it. I'm just sitting up so you can hear me speak right now. We're gonna spend just a couple of breaths here in our seed position with your hands behind on your ankles or grabbing your feet. So let's do that together for a couple of breaths. Don't worry about looking up. I'll tell you when it's time to come back up again. Feeling where you're making contact with the floor, feeling grounded. Awesome, you can slowly come back up. We're gonna stay seated, and you've probably seen this pose in various warm-ups before, but this is, we're gonna call this a butterfly pose. So the soles of your feet are touching each other. I'm not sure if you can see me from the screen, but your feet are touching each other, the bottoms of your feet are touching, and your knees are going out this way like butterfly wings. So we're gonna have a butterfly in our garden. Sitting up nice and straight. Where you place your feet, how far in front of you, is going to adjust how deep the stretch is. So if this is a difficult pose for you, keep your feet kind of positioned a little bit further out from your body. Awesome. So go ahead and find the right spot for you. And if you'd like, we're not gonna flap them. That is for different, more kinesthetic warm-ups. We're just gonna sit here with it. What I will offer to you, if you'd like to deepen the stretch, is grabbing your feet and just leaning into it a little bit. And just going to where it feels like there's stretching happening, but never to where it feels painful. So just lean into that a bit if you can. You can look down towards the ground. Take this moment now to notice your breath. If you're holding it or if you're breathing shallow, I invite you to deepen it again. See also if you can go maybe just an inch further into that position. Awesome. Coming back up, the last one we're going to do is we're going to be a flower. This one's a little less obvious, the correlation. You're going to pick up your feet and wrap your hands around them and just hold them. So we're like a little bloom here. You can see we're like petals of our body. They're about to bloom. And you're just going to balance on your hip bones, making contact with the floor, and just holding your legs up. This is a great balance, but it's also good for your abs. You can get a little more involved too if you want. Totally up to you. The only wrong way to do yoga is to go beyond what our body is capable of and comfortable with. Otherwise, if you're down here and that's all you can do, that's fine. Just balancing our little flowers. Awesome. Bringing your legs on back down. We're going to come back into what we call easy seat. So you're just going to sit cross-legged on the floor, shoulders are back and down, and we're going to move now into our meditative part. You can do whatever organic movements feel good to you, like if you'd like to stretch for a second, whatever feels nice. Go ahead and just find yourself in a place where you're going to be ready to do just a brief minute or two of meditation. So I'm going to let you transition into your easy seat. Notice your breath again and start to deepen it, lengthening those exhales. Awesome. So what we're going to do is you're going to just soften your gaze. You can gaze downwards, or if you'd like, you're welcome to close your eyes. And let's just take a second to breathe in through our nose, noticing the sensation of the air coming in our bodies. Holding it for a minute, and now breathing out very slowly. Once more, softened gaze or eyes closed, breathing in. Feeling the air as it comes in your body and releasing it slowly. Like someone just pinpricked a balloon and the air is just very steadily but slowly leaking out. One more time, breathing in. And now out. I'm going to invite you now just to listen to my voice as you sit in your meditative posture. I want you to think about the word intention. When you're setting an intention, it's kind of like setting a goal, but it's different in that it's not as specific as a goal is. Setting a goal is like, I'm going to drink 32 ounces of water today. That's not really an intention. An intention is a little more abstract, kind of harder to get our head around. An intention would be like, I'm going to pursue wellness today. So instead of a specific water hydration goal, it's I'm going to pursue wellness with my body, or I'm going to pursue compassion, or my intention for the week is perseverance or hard work. I'm going to work very hard this week, or I'm going to be creative. I'm going to learn something new. That's what an intention is. You can also intend to be loving. I'm going to show love this week. I'm going to be a light to the people I'm around. I'm going to have an intention of gratitude this week where I appreciate the things that I have. Or I'm going to be mindful this week. I'm going to just notice the things that are around me without judgment. So that is kind of an abstract concept. And I know that it can be difficult if you have questions about setting an intention, or you need examples of intention, I'm happy to work with you on that. You can direct message me privately and we can discuss what a good intention might be for you. But I want us to take a minute to sit and think about what our intention is for today. We're beginning a new day. It is the morning. We have a lot of hours ahead of us for today. We also have a lot of power, excuse me, a lot of power in how our days can be perceived. So we may not have control over the events. We may not have control over our circumstances, but we have a lot more control than we realize about how we perceive them. And this is where intentions come in. They can help us to have some of that control back about how we feel and perceive our days. So, sitting in your meditative posture, sitting in your deep breathing, I want to invite you now, and I will give you some time where I won't be speaking, to think about what your intention for today is going to be. I invite you now to consider that. If you're not sure what your intention could be, maybe just the intention of gratitude. We may not have everything that we would like. We may not have even all the things that we need, but just having gratitude for being alive, for the friends that we have, for the basic needs that we do have, can help shift our perspective. I invite you now to bring your gaze back here, sweeping your arms up, pressing your hands together, looking up at your hands, and bringing them down to your heart center. We are also not perfect. If we cannot live fully into our intentions, that's okay. They are aspirations. We will not achieve them perfectly, but my hope for you today is that you will live into them as best you can and approach those moments where we miss the mark without judgment, and that we move forward from there. Thank you for doing yoga and for meditating with me. I so appreciate you taking the time to do this for yourself. It is such a gift that we give ourselves to move our bodies mindfully and to set intentions for ourselves through meditation. So thanks again. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.